Yeah, we're missing pilot, but the rest of us are here.
Want to kick us off?
Sure, yeah. Hey everyone, my name is Johan Becker. I'm the navigator on this 8 to 12 shift. This is my 5th cruise with Nautilus, and off the ship, I just finished up a PhD program at the University of Rhode Island in ocean engineering, and yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more of this ship work in the near future.
All right. Hi, everyone. I am Sarah Sargent. I am the co-pilot for this evening. I am a contractor, ROV pilot technician. And yeah, I primarily work with here on Nautilus and also out with the Jason team with Woods Hole and out with Sebastian with Schmidt. So that's it.
Hello everyone, I'm Dave Robertson. I'm lead video engineer on NA-173. I'm senior video engineer for OET. I've been on sailing on Nautilus since 2016. When I'm not on Nautilus, I'm retired.
That's
More or
not
less.
how that works.
More or less. I mean, I have my own business, and I do support work for other ROV companies, other ships, I do work at television stations, that kind of stuff. I can't seem to retire, but oh well. Go ahead, Leela.
Hi, this is Leela. I am the data logger on this watch. I'm one of the science managers who is on this cruise. I, on other cruises, usually am helping with sample collection and sample processing and shipping off samples to the repositories where other scientists then get to access them from to ask further questions about the organisms that we've collected in all these remote parts of the Pacific Ocean as of late. But on this particular cruise, where we are not collecting any physical samples, I am mainly responsible for just the data logging, for making sure that we have detailed records of the surveys that we're conducting here, and also detailed dive report narratives, going to so many recs they can start to blend together, so we make sure to have really detailed logs of everything that we've seen and surveyed. I have been with Nautilus for 8 seasons since starting as an intern, and it's an honor to be here.
And aloha, good evening everyone. I'm Daniel Wagner. Yeah, honored to be here helping with the 8 to 12 watch. When I'm not sailing on EV Nautilus, I have the privilege to help plan and execute expeditions and the science aspects of our expeditions. And it's a really rewarding kind of adventure. This particular, we started planning this very mission here about 1.5 years ago. And that included coming here to the Solomon Islands, meeting with various government officials, meeting with potential partners, scoping out the logistics, and that was it was a rewarding process. I got to work with some of Dr. Ballard's extended team that were back here 33 years ago, including Kathy Offinger and Janice Meijer, and yeah, it was just wonderful. And they were back here helping coordinate all the logistics on shore, which is not a small feat. We have probably close to 100 people all involved in this mission on different vessels on shore and movement between the vessels. So huge shout out for our folks on shore that are helping all this out. Yeah. Yeah, we're just off the site, so I think that does warrant.
That's exciting. Could mean maybe some scattered debris from whatever we're about to see.
Yeah, so we are just 50 meters off the wreck, and our mapping sonars just picked up a couple pieces of debris.
We hope.
Actually, who was that just chimed in? We didn't get an intro
Uh-huh.
yet.
Thought you got away with it, huh?
I did, yeah. Hi everyone, sitting pilot. I am Chris Ritter, and you guys already did introductions?
Yep.
Part of the 8 to 12 here with everybody that you just heard from. And yeah, looking forward to checking out this DriX target. Be interesting. Thanks for joining.
How far are we actually from that target right now, Johan?
I was going to have the ship stop like in roughly 4 minutes.
Cool.
Should,
Oh, like 60-ish meters from that. Right?
yeah,
oh, yeah, I
that'll
see.
put
Okay,
the back
a little
of our
off.
ship right on
Perfect.
the target.
Awesome.
Yeah, and if it would be good, like, yeah, just to get a general fix of that, what we just came across, and be good to just get
Yeah,
a
I
pulse
dropped
mark.
a rough target.
Awesome.
We're not recording this NORBIT data currently, but yeah.
Yeah, with the heading and distance, we should be able to figure that out.
Exactly.
Sarah, what would you like for monitors? I think maybe, I think if we're going to come down and do a visual, I'd like to have Atalanta up on the big screen.
Yeah.
But I do want to keep NORBIT here.
Yeah.
So, is that okay with you?
Sounds good.
Hey, look at that. Videos on top of it.
Woohoo.
Thanks, Dave.
Do you want the winch switched?
As long as the
Okay, right.
Atalanta's up top, I think that's fine, yeah. Thank you, though. All right, I'm going to increase my Z-bar so I came up when we slowed down a little.
Yep.
Okay, ship slowed down to 4.4 knots. Continuing to slow.
That was impeccable timing on that entrance, pilot.
Don't say that.
I'm going to switch you back to DVL. Great.
I did see TJ. I told him we didn't plan to recover anytime soon. Is that accurate? Okay, right.
Yeah, so as we're moving here, and we're very close to the target now. Just give folks a preview. So once we arrive at this first target, we'll obviously thoroughly investigate it to answer the main question of that, whether this is a natural feature or a human-made feature. And depending on that, we'll obviously spend a lot more time if this ends up being debris or a wreck. But regardless of that, after that, we'll continue moving in this kind of general course. We'll tow the vehicles further to the west towards Savo Island. There are several wrecks that are all lined up. We have a new fix for the destroyer Yudachi that will tow the vehicles over, and then 3 U.S. destroyers, the Haven, Preston, and Walker. And so the plan is to continue here on the seafloor for as long as weather and mechanical aspects allow it. So no plan to recover anytime soon.
This cursor is on right where kind of that DriX target is too. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yep. Hawk mode activated. Caw, caw, caw.
Hmm. I think that would probably be useful. Yeah. We'll just see a little farther. I mean, it doesn't really look like, yeah, kind of looks like we're on a little hill, but right.
I mean, it did look like just a bump, but it's like a mound, right? Yeah, we'll definitely want to have a visual.
Yeah.
And at least on this mound feature, and if it's not too much, but I think maybe just going back to that little kind of debris-like feature if we can locate it.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like there might be a little rubble at the base of this as well, but kind of down here.
Okay, so you're in full auto. Yeah, and I would just, yeah, yep, you can take them all out. Delta's 22, you're 35 meters off. And if you want, you can tilt or have Johan tilt your main all the way down too. That's probably your best bet, other than the upper camera. Getting out a little ahead, sorry, I'm speeding up. Yeah, I'm catching up. 20 meters off. Yeah, and I would start to slow at about 10, because if it is archaeology, if you slam the brakes, it'll give a big pressure wave, which we don't want to do. All right, Delta's 22. I think you. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna see anything in orbit.
Yeah, it looks very gradual, more mound-like, but
Yeah.
see here momentarily.
We did see like gravel or rubble. Somebody saw. I didn't see.
Yeah, that piece when you walked into the room.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
a little bit kind of you can
Yeah.
see there in the background, but not.
Let's go look at it.
It could just be a tiny little rock.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No high
Let's do a
there.
visual and then confirm and then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't have a great down camera up right now. I'm gonna let you catch up, actually. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna come up maybe a little bit. No, so when there's no Z-bias in at all, so you'll be really floaty. Yeah, there you go. Eyes on bottom.
It would roughly be like
Off to your port, right?
yeah, it was like 203, 25 meters, roughly there. But I mean, it could just be some scattered rocks, like we kind of see in that slope.
Yeah. We can head over there though. We should have enough tether. We can head over there though. You should have enough tether. I would, yeah, I think to go to the southwest. I would tilt your camera down though, so you can maximize your view. Now it should be. Is that down all the way? Here. Let me try. Yeah, no problem. All right, I'm gonna leave it there, but just so you see anything, if there is something. I can come down a little too.
Cool hydroid.
We can kill those lowers too if you want. You got it? You want me to? Yeah, got you. Sorry, Dave. I just killed the mids. You want to back on?
Yeah, I got nothing now.
Yeah, okay.
I'd have to go into gain boost.
Gotcha.
If something's, I mean, it's very flat and just mud, right? So
Yeah.
if something pops up, we can look at it.
We went right over the center of that mound with NORBIT on, right? Pretty much. I know we can't see the line still, but
Roughly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Some part of the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were a little bit to the south,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
we were pretty much on top of it.
Cool.
We didn't see, and we did a rotation, right? We didn't see too much.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah. I think you're tagging me, sir.
Yeah, I can come to you.
I can come down a little. Yeah. Come down.
Yeah, so this all looks like a mound that we did pick up a couple, look like hard targets on the approach. So we'll try to head that way and see what that.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks small, but still worth investigating.
You're just about there, but you're pulling me off.
Yeah.
But that's okay, I think.
I don't think this is much anything. Yeah.
That target you dropped possible debris as a target, right? That we are not.
Correct, that's not this.
That's okay.
Yeah, but we, I think, can start heading that way if you guys are satisfied with our inspection of this mound.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks,
Okay.
Johan.
Yep. Okay, so that'll be pretty much west, about 150 meters.
East?
Sorry,
Yes.
thank you.
The other west.
You want to do it in you want to do it in formation? I think we could at reasonable speed.
You mean like tail to tail or like?
No, sorry, like
regular on
yeah,
bottom?
because then we don't have to take the time to come back and down
Totally.
and around.
Yeah, I think that is.
And we know it's
best.
pretty benign.
Yeah, I think I was thinking 096. That's also a pretty rough target drop, so We may when we get there when I come up and do an orbit sweep, because
Okay.
I just dropped a rough target based on eyeballing the Norbit.
Gotcha. Yeah, see. Yeah, but yeah, you're going to have to come all the way around. Yeah. So I think just keep backing up. The current's blowing you and the tether that way, so I think you'll just have to fight against it for a little bit. But I did notice if you're okay with it, I would take out auto head. You see your thrusters, like you don't get your full aft motion when auto head's in. So if you just cranked all the way back right now, you get that now, right? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yep, got enough. I can come up a little, and I'll follow you around. That wasn't, you're good. To the east we go. I'll tilt down a little. Gonna keep coming up.
Do we have visuals of what
I think push
that
out hard
DriX target looked like?
if you can.
Did
Like
it
the
kinda
relief or anything.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Sorry, is there like a picture of what that, like what DriX saw, like their
It's just a
feature?
bump, yeah, just
Okay.
a bump, but it was 20 meters off bottom.
Okay.
No, I think just push ahead as hard as you can. Yeah.
Larry was explaining today that they've been trying to get
No,
creative with the best way to look at the DriX
I'll
data
follow you.
and best interpret
Delta's 23, so you're good.
what might be a wreck. It's still challenging, even with the high resolution of DriX, of the DriX multi-beam
And
sonar,
we can, once you're out front, we can come around.
to pick out.
Sorry, Leila.
You're okay. Sorry for talking over you. To pick out some of these smaller targets that we're looking for now. And Larry Mayer was saying that recently they've been looking at the data, looking at the slope of the data, and that's been helpful in identifying potential targets that may not just be shallow mounds that are prominent but kind of low slope angle, but actually have a higher slope angle and may potentially be something more prominent like a wreck.
Nice.
So hopefully that helps
Good
us
for a
out
move.
in the future.
Bridge nav. Can we have a ship move 150 meters, bearing 096, please? Thank you. That was 0.3 to start.
I know there's not much there, but would it be possible to maybe be on the seafloor as we transit?
That's your call. Yeah, we can. We just came up just because we just norbited it. So,
Yeah.
but I don't think there's a reason not to. Right, Sarah. Yeah, look at some
Just
critters.
look at, you know, whatever there is there while we're here opportunistically.
Sure.
No zooms or anything, just, you know.
Yeah, I think so. You are, yeah. You're out there a little ways. So we got, no, don't back up. Yeah. We could, Leela, you have, do you have the upper WCA camera
I do, yeah.
on back there?
Uh-huh.
How's that image?
Can't see anything at all.
How did it look when we were on bottom? Okay, I think you start pushing out now, sir.
I can go back and investigate. I wasn't looking when we were just on bottom.
No, that's fine. Yeah, we'll...
Yeah, I only see it from the last wreck, which looks awesome.
All right. Okay, that's 25 meters altitude for me, so I think that gives you enough. Yeah, nice.
May look like there's nothing here, but you can see little tracks and kind of pockmarky features of the organisms that might have been transiting over this sedimented area or living inside of it. There tends not to be that much obvious life in areas like this because many of the corals and sponges and things you see on the seafloor usually need some kind of a hard structure to attach themselves to root themselves onto so that they don't just get taken away by the current. And so they have something to grow on. But there are some species of sponges and other organisms that have kind of thread-like roots that they'll put into the sand. And then there are plenty of organisms that we call bioturbators, which is fancy for like mud or sediment consumers and spitter back outers. So you'll see holothurians, like sea cucumbers, sometimes different kinds of, like the acorn worms that will ingest this sediment on the seafloor and try and get whatever they can out of it and then leave a trail of processed sand behind them. The shrimp, yeah.
Yeah, and I think we could do 0.4 if you want. What do you think, Sarah?
See a rat tail.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually think this is kind of the ship's max speed in this direction.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
If you see, we're kind
against
of
the wind.
squiggling. Yeah.
That's why you're nav.
So it looks like we're seeing some of what I'm talking about. Maybe a sea cucumber on the right there. On the left, that little stick poking out, it's probably some kind of coral or sponge that's has those more thread-like roots. And then there's plenty of stuff in the water column. We've been seeing so many flamboyant squidworms, which I think is what's about to drift past us. Those are worms, but they're called squidworms because they have these long sort of tentacles around their mouth area that are both used to help with feeding, and also as sensory structures to interpret their environment. That looks like another one right in front of us. And just for general context, we are still just slowly making our way towards that little piece of debris, or potential debris, could be a rock, we don't know yet, that we picked up in NORBIT, in the NORBIT sonar as we were passing over this unknown mound target from DriX. And so we're just opportunistically looking at what there is between here and there while we go.
Now, if that measurement you took, what was the range from current position to that?
We are still about 80 meters away,
Roger.
90. But I do actually think it's probably a little more north of that as well.
Ooh, south alert.
What was that, Chris?
South alert.
South alert, oh yeah, up in
Okay,
Atlantic.
I'm gonna come up just so I don't hit it.
I don't know what, that almost looks like a really big Brazingid sea star. It's hard to tell. I think it is. If it is, Brazingids are some of the sea stars that most of the life down here is just trying to catch whatever floats by in the water. So, you know, including some of that eDNA material that Daniel was talking about earlier, just cells and organic matter that slough off of organisms, but also plankton from the surface ocean or fecal pellets, you know, poo conglomerate from things living in the surface ocean that sinks down. Organisms down here are all trying to catch that and process it and get whatever nutrition they can. And so that's what sea stars like Brazingids are doing.
Yeah, that's right, Pilot. We can just kind of keep moving, but yeah, we'll opportunistically see things.
Yeah, you can just keep going. So I'm just talking away. We've passed like 5 flamboyant squidworms. These things are amazing. You can see their tentacles and the way that they use their feet as kind of paddles.
Seems like they have a happy straight line east, I guess.
Yeah, they just did the heading and it's faring a little better now.
I think we're looking at a piece of trash there, maybe. That's something that we have unfortunately seen a decent bit down here, also around the wrecks.
Out there a little ways.
Parts of the deep sea may feel far away from human impact at times, but especially here so close to land, but even surprisingly far offshore, we will often see trash and other debris, abandoned, lost, discarded fishing gear that makes its way down to the seafloor. In fact, just at one of the wrecks we were at previously, we encountered some hazardous line wrapped around some of the 5-inch artillery and bridge and hanging up into the water column that had not been there the previous time that ship was surveyed. So
I'm going to tilt down just a little bit, so I'm going to move your frame of reference just a touch. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Han, do you think it's worth asking about 0.4? I guess they're doing 0.2 and between 0.2 and 0.3, huh?
Yeah, I can try. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Bridge to bridge nav. Hi, is it possible to speed up to 0.4 knots? Thank you.
It doesn't want to? Oh, that might be because you're so low. Yeah. You could try with Z bias. But it's, yeah, we've been flying really positive on all the shipwrecks. So if you take, if you don't do anything, you float up and off. Even when we do have Z bias in, it's like half of what would keep you neutral. So last night Ben and I were flying with like 15 or something. That's cool.
Can't quite tell without a zoom if that's a black coral or a sea pen, but
I'm gonna come down just a little bit.
something fun sticking out in front of us.
Yeah, it looks like you're keeping up speed pretty well. I think same applies for coming ahead. If you really needed to speed up, I would punch out auto head, because I think that takes away from your axials a little bit.
There's a sea cucumber swimming. I love the way that they're almost doing crunches. They're doing cat-cow, like the yoga pose, every time they want to move.
Yeah, incredible core.
Oh. That fish almost looks like it's along the sea floor. It was weird. So this is a sea cucumber floating around. Sea cucumbers look kind of like cucumbers or big worms or something, but they are actually related to sea stars. So they are related to sea stars and sea urchins, the things we call echinoderms. Sea stars, their skeleton is kind of a mixture of these little calcium carbonate plates called ossicles, and sea cucumbers have those spread out throughout their body as well. And it may not look like it, but they also have that 5-star radial symmetry like a sea star. It just goes, you have to picture it like a cylinder with that symmetry. Not with all the features of their body, but with many of them.
Yeah, the ship's about to stop also.
All right, looks like we're close to this debris target we had, kind of.
I'll follow you up. And I do have auto head, whoops, sorry, a little too far. I do have auto head in, so I won't change that unless we need to. Yeah, ship is...
Do you have any desire, Daniel,
Nice.
to raise off and spin to look for it more quickly, or how dedicated are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably quite small. Whatever the,
Yeah.
I don't want to spend too much time, so if we don't can spot it kind of quick, we'll move on, because it's probably quite small target.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to come up a little?
Yeah, let's do. It's a good call, Leva.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you think to.
Yeah, 20, maybe even a little higher. Yeah, I would say actually 30 if you're okay with that. Yeah,
Yeah,
quite so.
and we'll do a spin around. So, and if it doesn't show up, we can proceed in towing to the next target. Because I was just hopeful that we'll see a bit more, but since it was just an isolated piece of potential debris, then it's, yeah.
Still just observing, not recording, but yeah. Sorry, I was just trying to look at what our coverage is.
Is there something there on the starboard side? Something just appears. Is that it? Yeah.
Over here.
How high off the seafloor are we right now? We're like 30 meters. Okay.
Exactly. That's what
Yeah.
I think that might be it, but it does look very small.
Hmm.
What were you thinking, Layla? Come up even more?
I just wanted to make sure that we were at least around that far off because, I mean, like really tiny targets we couldn't even see on the seafloor were showing up in NORBIT low down.
Yeah. We did, I guess we did see it at 75 meters up, and it was it was actually pretty decent size, I thought. Not huge, but it was like pretty
Yeah.
prominent in the beams.
Yeah. I would expect what we're looking for to be kind of north-ish from here, but there might be a little there.
Yeah, Nav, let's head like just a little north and then, yeah, we can call it after that.
Okay.
Because, yeah, we could probably spend many hours and I don't want to do that here.
Yes.
Do a quick assessment, see if we can find it, if not, move on.
Copy that.
Just due diligence.
Yeah.
You do have enough tether if you wanted to kind of come north, Johan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
I can follow you around. Yeah,
Yep.
you're sort of
Come
at your
up
heading,
here
but you might have to.
or here.
I think you're gonna have to come closer to me, Sarah. Yeah.
Okay. Um,
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, you can push out. I'll follow you around. Yeah, I see what you mean out there. Is that not it at the end of the?
On the left.
Yeah. It's something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get some more glancing beams on that.
Give it the side eye.
Do you want to go look at that, Daniel?
I didn't see it. What did you see?
We're
on
looking
the
just way over in the corner. There's
on
a
the left
tiny,
side there?
tiny thing.
little thing.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like what we saw.
No.
Yeah, not quite.
Well, you know, I mean, we have the track of what Hercules did, right? Like, if anything, could it have been further south? Not that we want to go investigate that, but just,
Um,
or is that, am I thinking about that wrong, Johan?
I think it would have been further north
Okay.
because Hercules was coming backwards and it was on this side.
Uh-huh.
But I think I did
Yeah, that's fine.
underestimate the horizontal range of NORBIT based on how far we were seeing with 20 meters or
Right, yeah.
at 30 meters. So I would expect it to be kind of more
Oh, actually pretty far
north
then.
of here,
All right.
Even more north?
Yeah.
potentially.
Yeah, if that's the case, I think let's just call it because I think we could spend hours here looking for it, and
Okay.
yeah, we'll just run out of time, and
Yeah.
we've got some bigger targets that will be much easier to locate. Thanks so much for trying. Yeah.
Yeah, that was worth
Yeah.
it.
Well, if we are then preparing to transit to the Yudachi target, is that our next one?
Yep, that's correct.
Great. I mean, if you guys are coming up to prepare for that, you can feel free to do a little spin as you come, but that will be further to the west-northwest,
West-northwest eye.
quite far.
So, yeah. No.
I know.
Okay, navigator, take us there,
Okay.
please.
So this is 3.3 nautical miles away, so significantly further.
Okay.
So ideally we would want to...
Ooh.
Okay, that's fun.
Stand by.
Which camera is that? Oh no.
I think it's cinema.
Oh, I totally like went to Zeus and started taking pictures. That was the upper. I'm just trying to chase it through all three
No, I
cameras.
think it was lower.
Yeah, that moment passed.
Yeah. So I was pretty comfortable with our tether going 0.7 with going backwards. Do you think, I feel like we probably want to try to achieve a knot on this if possible, because that's still 3.5 hours of transit. Do you, oh no.
On our watch now. We're tow watch now. That's okay. Plain like, right, yeah. Yeah, so for folks who are just joining in and who are asking why it's so dusty down here and what we're looking at, we were just investigating a target that DriX, which is an uncrewed surface vehicle that we're working in collaboration with right now. DriX had found this target. DriX has a multi-beam sonar mounted to it and is capable of, in higher resolution than our ship's sonar, investigating the seafloor and looking for potential targets, potential wrecks in Iron Bottom Sound. So often we have DriX going ahead of us to areas that we intend to pass by in the near future, and we look for targets that have not yet been explored. And as is the nature of exploration, sometimes those targets are real and cool things, like we found the bow of a ship the other day was one of the 3 targets we investigated between known shipwrecks. We found the bow of a ship that the best guess currently is that it was the bow of the USS New Orleans, which actually ended up only losing its bow. It then steamed all the way back to its home port, was rebuilt, and was back in the war later on, which is just incredible to think about doing with a missing bow. But so this was another one of those DriX targets that we went to investigate. Turned out not to be a wreck. But as some of our colleagues who are chiming in on the chat, scientists ashore and other ocean exploration colleagues, as they pointed out, there are likely around 2,500 airplanes that went down in Iron Bottom Sound and the surrounding areas. Many of those are closer to shore where the airfield would have been. Henderson Field, which was one of the main reasons that the battles of Guadalcanal occurred, was because the Japanese were building an airfield called Henderson Field, and Allied forces wanted to maintain control of this area. So many of the airplane wrecks would be closer to the shore near that field, but there were also many float planes and other airplanes that could be out here, and those targets would be maybe just a meter off the seafloor, extremely small, and so it's worth investigating small targets that we come across. But because of how difficult it is to find those, it probably would be luck during some of these tows between different sites that would allow us to find some of those really small, exciting targets. So now we're planning to transit back towards where the Japanese wreck of the Yudachi is. We had a point. The Yudachi was surveyed by Dr. Robert Ballard, the president and founder of the Ocean Exploration Trust, back in 1992. And we had a rough estimate of where they were when they found the Yudachi. And so we investigated that earlier on yesterday or 2 days ago and did not find the wreck, but were able to get in touch with another colleague who was on the ship and had hand recorded another set of coordinates. So we are now transiting back there to investigate those coordinates, and DriX went ahead of time and surveyed that area and did in fact find what looks to be a promising target sticking out from near the side of a geologic feature, a steeper cliff or hill feature that would have otherwise been very difficult to pick up, if not impossible to pick up with our ship's sonar. So that target is around 3.5 hours away at the speed that we're going currently. So we're going to be towing for quite a while. For those of you who are wondering why we're towing and looking at blue screens, that's because we're trying to optimize our operations here. Whenever we pull the ROVs out of the water, the ROV team has to do their diligent pre-dive and post-dive checks on the vehicles, and that takes around 2 hours each, so 4 hours at least to turn around the vehicles. So it ends up, you know, like in this case, we're going to get there in just under 4 hours. Ends up sometimes being more efficient to just stay in the water. Many of our other targets are even closer together, so once we get to the Yudachi, I can't quite see in the screen, but I know that there are a number of targets we have in a row that we're hoping to look at that are much closer together. For example, just earlier today, we were at the USS Laffey. We were testing out some adjustments we made to our high quality, high resolution still cameras and video cameras, and decided we wanted to test them on another wreck as well. And so we just made a quick pop over to the Canberra, which took about an hour and a half, so much faster than if we had pulled the vehicles out and restarted. So that's a brief update. We welcome your questions in the meantime, as we'll be towing. And we are, happy to fill you in on what we're doing. We have a viewer from home asking if we've found any wrecked planes yet in this area. We have not on this expedition found any wrecked planes. I don't believe that Bob Ballard did on the previous expedition in 1992 or in 1991. Inkfish is also another exploration and research operation that's here right now as well in Iron Bottom Sound, and I don't believe that they found any planes either. So while some are known closer to shore, at least in the deep waters of Iron Bottom Sound, I could be wrong, but I don't believe that, at least recently, any have been found. Again, they're extremely small targets. What could be more likely is to find a wreck. Many of these larger wrecks carried 1 to 4 float planes. So to find a larger target that had a float plane on it still. I don't know if some viewers were tuning in and listening to Frank or any of our other historian or archaeologists on board describing what we were looking at the different wrecks, but on all the heavy cruisers that we've seen so far, there were cranes and catapults that were on the deck of the ship that were for craning the float planes onto the catapult and then catapulting the float planes into the air, which is a pretty incredible thing to imagine. And we've seen that on the wrecks that we've surveyed, many of the wrecks we've surveyed so far. Johan, just for my notes, What speed do we end up landing on? Or I guess we haven't even really started yet. Hard to tell from high back. A knot? All right, cool. Thanks. Just for some humanizing questions, front row, if you have the bandwidth. People want to know what our favorite snacks are for while we're on watch. And we're not supposed to be eating super crummy snacks, so we're really careful with our crumbs. But I think many of us in this moment are eating goldfish. Chris, you want to go first?
Yeah, goldfish are currently happening. We're being very careful with.
Very careful
Yep.
with the crumbs.
Oh yeah.
I saw someone one time bring up a whole bowl of ramen, and I was like, nope, that's not happening.
It's aggressive.
I'm sure Dave was very happy about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. I like the after breakfast qualification.
This is a thing you do when you're at sea. You hoard snacks when they're there. So, you know, if the cookies are out and you know you're going to want a cookie at some point tomorrow, you got to hoard said cookie so that it's there when you want it.
Pizza.
Oh,
Surplus
cookies.
Yeah.
See, that's pro move is when you hang on to the cookies from the day before ice cream day, then you can have the ice cream and the cookies all together, some kind of smorgasbord.
Yeah.
Johan, what about you? Your watch snack?
I've brought the little Welch's like fruit gummies a couple times because
Ooh.
I'm
That's a safe
too
one.
afraid of Dave to bring anything for me in here. But I've seen people bring like pancakes too.
Oh my gosh, no.
Paper towel, not with syrup, but
Oh no, just in a paper towel, like a
yeah.
dry pancake. That's acceptable, I guess.
Yeah.
If not a little strange.
Oh.
That's like the least, you can smell it immediately.
Yeah, right, that's not discreet. It seals it all in.
Salp.
Notice another salp. Asking about our favorite watch snacks.
Is that why all the keyboards were so greasy?
Yeah.
No.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah, we keep it nice and clean up here.
We do.
I think people, yeah,
Respectful of the space.
pilots would get chastised if we didn't, rightfully so. Yeah.
Daniel, do you have a favorite watch acceptable snack that you like to bring sometimes?
I'm a coffee person all the way, I think.
Oh. The snack beverages,
It's
a whole different thing.
Smart.
You got to keep them caffeinated.
Yeah, I feel like that was right
Yeah.
where that mound was.
It definitely helps.
Dave, what about you?
What was the question?
The question from a viewer
Yeah,
was
that's
what
right
our
where the
favorite
DriX
watch
target
snack
was, that
is.
mound.
A beverage qualifies if you bring up like a ginger tea or something.
Generally, for me, it's Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
Yep.
Yep, that's the Dave drink.
Yep.
Where are you pointing?
Diet Coke.
Yes, so many
I
of
don't
us
drink
Where are
coffee.
you pointing at?
cannot get
I
Diet
don't-
Coke in Solomon Islands, but many of us got some ahead of time in Guam, got things like that.
Amber, bless her heart, bought me a half rack of Diet Coke in Guam and
Wow.
stashed it away and brought it here.
That's a
And
good
then
coworker.
I was able to find a 24-pack, a case
Keeping
of
an eye on the
regular
tether cam,
Coca-Cola.
too. It's,
Oh, nice.
and brought that along as well.
it's
So
not the happiest, but
snacks I usually don't eat, maybe some candy.
Yeah, during a busy watch, I don't think any of us are snacking away very much, but
No.
as we tow here right now, I am.
okay.
All right, lots of ship life questions. I'll answer some of them
I have been, but it's gotten a little farther back since then.
in between chatter.
Sorry.
No, 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 don't apologize, you're doing the work. Okay, we had another question. How is the stargazing out here? Or are the ship lights too intense or too much light pollution? Stargazing is usually pretty good on the ship. And yeah, if you're the 12 to 4 watch, that's a nice thing to do before you go on watch, or 8 to 12 like us, you could go on up after. The ship lights are sometimes more on, sometimes more off, but generally really good viewing. And here we are close to Oniara, to Guadalcanal Island, so there's a bit of light pollution, but still definitely can see great stars. Wow,
Wow.
that's awesome.
Man, yeah, a couple cookies, a cup of coffee.
What a breakfast.
Sunrise and stars. Yeah.
Yeah, right. You started off right with a sugar rush and caffeine and Dayquil. That's the best part. Just, I guess, one more ship life question here. People are wondering if we have to cook for ourselves on board. We do not. We are super fortunate. Not only do we have a big team of different specialists who, from our mappers to data loggers and pilots and all kinds of people doing the forward-facing things that you see, but we also have a whole crew that makes this all possible. The ship's officers. We have stewies who are helping out keeping our common spaces clean and changing over our rooms in between when one team leaves the ship and another team comes. And they help out in the galley, where we also have cooks that make all of our meals for us, so we can just focus on the exploration, and we just wake up and our meal times are at consistent times each day, and depending on what watch you're on, some people are waking up for lunch as their first meal, or putting aside food for midnight snacks. So yeah, we're fortunate not to have to cook for ourselves. Although many of us have favorite foods that we'll bring on board, snacks and favorites to keep us going. someone had also asked what depth we're diving at. The dives we've been conducting have been somewhere between 600 and 900 or so meters so far. But Iron Bottom Sound's max depth is 1,400 meters, so our dives could end up being as deep as that. Yeah, as far as deep sea dives go, these are on the shallower end of what Nautilus has the capability to do and typically dives. But that's nice for us because on the descents and ascents with the vehicle, it takes only a smaller fraction of the time to get up and down. But as Daniel has mentioned multiple times, we are not pulling the vehicles up and down typically on this expedition unless we need to do so for technological reasons or to fine-tune equipment that we have on the ROVs or for other mechanical reasons. So it's typically more efficient for us to just tow the vehicles between these sites, which are often quite close together. This is one of our longer tows right now. That's going to take us about 3.5 hours to complete. We're about half hour in, so 3 more hours. But earlier today, we're doing shorter ones, like just an 1.5 hour tow. Front row, we have a question about if there are any new control or other updates to the ROVs recently. I don't know if either of you wants to chime in on things that are either different on the ROV for this cruise or have been changed in the last few years.
I know this last shakedown, they got a new craft arm on the starboard side. And specifically for this cruise, there was a bit of camera and light adjustments and moves made. And actually, when we were just on deck this morning, some of the lights were moved. We ended up taking 2 that were on the manips and placing them on the sides, port and starboard side, just above the junction boxes on each side of Herc. And then also there's took 2 of the 4 midlights and ran them underneath the porch, so that way we really have that nice lighting from underneath the vehicle, because there was a lot of light up top that kind of messes with some of the cameras and makes it hard to get really nice clear images. So and it seemed like I was watching from downstairs on the last shift, you guys had some really great images. It looked incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the, I think actually the only reason that we have recovered the vehicle so far has been to fine-tune the additional lighting that's on Hercules right now. We have Jonathan Feely on board, who's one of our uh, extra collaborators who's on board for this expedition. And he has worked with the ROV team to integrate the wide field camera array. So we have 3 different super high resolution cameras in addition to the cameras that record the footage that you're watching live and that the pilots use to drive by typically. In addition to those, there are 3 cameras positioned on different parts of the ROV that all together are capable of taking imagery that can later on be used to create 3D models of the wrecks that we're seeing just by taking lots of images from every angle possible and stitching them together. These cameras are also capable of taking really high quality still images. So on this expedition where we're not collecting any samples and where we're going through and conducting comprehensive and systematic visual surveys of wrecks, wanting to preserve them in their current form through mapping and imagery. This is a high priority of this expedition, is to have the best imaging technology that we can put on Hercules and the best lights to make the images come out as best as possible.
If it doesn't get much better, we can come up too. But it's sort of a trade-off because yeah, we can come up to like, I think if we come up at all in the water column, then we may as well go to 50 because yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Well, I guess I guess the layback is probably a better way to calculate it, right? Or to see if it's changing. I mean, other than just like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what point 0.9 does. So Sarah, on the res gauge, it's halfway between 5 and 10, which I'm no mathematician, but all these other ones have been 6. Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Yep. What's that?
Hey Dave, do you think that we could get the video of the back of the ship up in that upper left screen? Yeah, that would be amazing. Yes. You're always amazing. Trying to stay humble. Mm. Oh, thank you. Look at all those little fishies. Fishies! Do you want to? Doesn't matter. This is pretty comfy. I want to stay in between spreadsheet sharing and bonding. What kind of spreadsheet is it? Oh, God. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh. Did you say a beginner spreadsheet? Is that what you like? Oh, okay. I thought that's what you said at first. I'm like, what? Wow. I haven't yet. Not midwater.
Nice. I spent 6 weeks doing midwater transects. Yep. Yeah. I saw the bottom twice. And it was one of those down to the bottom. Okay, come up 50 meters, start a transect 1 kilometer, blah, this direction, you know, that kind of stuff for 6 weeks. It was brutal. And I'm sitting here looking at this with, you know, marine snow coming at me like I'm in a Star Trek movie or something, you know, and yeah. And the scientists are trying to count jellyfish and, you know, stuff, siphonophores and all these things, and identify things, and occasionally stop and try and sample something. And we did that for 6 weeks. Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely. Sure, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's just, yeah.
I am catless. I am petless in general. Is that the question? No. No. I don't understand how people manage to have pets and be going to sea and traveling and all that. It's very impressive. People, it's like having a kid. People have a support system of people that can watch their dog when they're gone. I would love to have a dog, but yeah.
Yeah, my wife and I are the same way. We're dog people, cat people. We can't even have a goldfish. We can't have house plants.
Yeah, I was about to say I can't keep a cactus or a succulent alive.
Yeah, you know, and we split time between Alaska and Oregon, and I'm out here, and it's just, we don't have a place in Anchorage anymore. We live with our oldest son and his wife, who don't, so we have grand dogs. They don't have any kids. But they have a 4-bedroom house, and so, you know, they have the master suite, and then his office, her office, and our bedroom. It's like having an efficiency apartment with a really nice kitchen.